I used to be a skinny guy who just felt completely lost in the gym. No matter how hard I would try, I couldn't build any muscle at all. But after 3 years of training, I went from skinny and insecure at 70 kg to all the way of 84 kg in the best shape of my life, just feeling lean, shredded, and better than ever. And in this video, I'm breaking down the exact workout that you need to follow as a skinny guy to actually build muscle and look aesthetic. As most skinny guys, they do the wrong workouts and they waste years in the gym. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do. As I remember when I first started the gym, I was following these general bodybuilding workouts where I was doing push, pull, legs, something basic like this. And it was working. I was building muscle. I was getting bigger over time. But the problem I was facing is like all my muscles getting bigger at like a sustainable rate. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted this aesthetic V-tape of this look that standed out and made me look so much better than everyone else. But doing that general bodybuilding workout, I just looked bigger overall, more muscular. But what you actually want to do is you want to target specific muscles. Having certain muscles bigger than everything else really makes you stand out. And I've experienced it myself. Once I've started to train the right muscles and do the correct volume for each muscle, my physique looked better. I didn't gain loads and loads more muscle. I didn't even change in weight. But because of these muscles, I just stood out more. I looked more aesthetic. As if you imagine any movie star, any person with an amazing physique that you inspire for, they all stand out in the same way. They have the same muscle groups that look different to everything else. Usually they have this V-taper for one, where their shoulders are wide, they're looking like large at top, they're out here, but then they're lean, they're muscular, they've got abs, and they're narrow down below. Like they've got this V type of look, this Dorito body essentially. This was the first thing that I really think is important for that aesthetic type of look, as it just makes you look way more muscular but lean and shredded, and every movie star you can think of has this type of look. But as well as this, having this V-taper with massive arms is just, it gives you that extra bit of like social status. It makes you look even better. As for massive arms, when you notice when you see someone just standing in a shirt and their arms are just out here, they fill out their whole shirt, they just look way more aesthetic, especially if they're not wearing a tight shirt. Instead, they've just got massive arms. This gives us that second look where they just look way more muscular in such better shape. And with these two things, we can make so much more progress and get in we can just look so much more aesthetic. So the muscle groups that we actually want to stand out is first our upper chest up here, as this makes our chest look fuller and just look larger at the front. Then our lateral, our side delts here is what gives us this door frame look, makes us wider. And the third is our lats down here. This gives us also that door frame look, making us stick out. With these three muscle groups, it will give us such a wider, more aesthetic, looking larger type of look. And then if we train the arms for biceps, for triceps, and the forearms, which most people neglect, it will give us an even better look, making our arms look big and making us look wider and more muscular overall. So to do this, I'll show you the split in a second. But one thing I need you to understand is we have to program our volume correctly, as we can't do the same volume for every muscle group. Like we can't do the same volume for our lower chest as our upper chest, the same as our legs. Instead, we have to specialize in some things. So what I mean by this is we have to pick certain areas like our upper chest, like our side delts, like our lats, like our arms, and we have to do more sets, more volume for these muscle groups. And then the other muscle groups, we don't do as many sets for, as we can't increase our volume with every single muscle group in our body, or we'll just have too many sets to do each day and it will be too much effort. But if we have some muscle groups, like our middle back, if we do a certain amount of sets where we can grow a bit, we can get more muscle, but we're not getting at a massive rate. But then something like our lats, we have way more sets and we grow so much faster. When we can program our volume and do this, this is where we will see progress and you get that aesthetic look, exactly how you want to look. So the best workout I've found is someone from Mike Israetel, and it's this upper body workout. Here we're prioritizing our upper body, but we still do leg. Here I'll show you the training split. I got this from Mike Israetel, and it targets our upper body, the muscle groups we want to train. But it doesn't neglect our legs. Instead, we still do sets with our legs, just enough to gain muscle slowly but surely with them. So this training is a 5-day split, and you can do it however it works best with your week. But for day one, first we're going to target our upper chest. So we're going to start with incline dumbbell bench press. We can really stretch our upper chest here and get great hypertrophy results. Then we'll move on to dips for our middle chest and an incline dumbbell fly for our upper chest again. With all 3 of these exercises, we're just doing 3 sets for each. Then after we've done that, we'll move on to overhead tricep extension. This is great as it targets all of our tricep heads, and I've found it one of the best tricep exercises to do. Usually I use a rope because it's nicer on your wrist, and you can really get that deep stretch there. But after we've done our overhead tricep extension, we move on to lateral raises. Like I said earlier, we want to target those side delts. We want them to be massive. So we're going to be doing a lot of lateral raises throughout the weeks. There's so many different variations. Choose what you like the most. For me, usually a cable lateral raise, single arm, is really good, and I like the stretch on that. And finally, we'll finish with a Smith machine squat. Obviously, we still want to train legs, but we're not going to have a full leg day. Instead, after every training of our upper body, we're just going to have one leg exercise that we need to do to train our legs. And today, it's a Smith machine squat where we can target our quads and our glutes. With the squat, we don't have to go extremely heavy. Instead, put some weight on each side and do really slow tempo. So you go down slowly, you sit at the bottom, really stretch out, and when you come up and drive up fast, then go down slowly again, sit at the bottom, get a real deep stretch, and then drive up fast. Here's day 2. We're targeting more of our lats and our biceps here. First exercise is pull-ups. You can do weighted, assisted, normal body weight, whatever, it doesn't matter. What I'd recommend though is using straps if you have any. As we don't want to be training our forearms as well, so you don't want to fatigue them too much. As a lot of people, they train back and never use wraps, and their forearms get tired before their back does. But what I found is if you use straps, it's so much easier. You can target your back and really work your back without tiring all your forearms out. After we've done pull-ups, a single arm lat pulldown to really target those lats, getting an extremely deep stretch in them. After we've done those 2 exercises, we move over to a seated row. Here we're getting just that middle back. We still want to train it. Even though we're targeting our lats the most, we still want to train all the other parts of our back. Then after, we're going to do a face-away bicep curl where we can really stretch our biceps and it feels amazing. And finish with a wrist curl, targeting our forearms. And after we've done all of those, we're just going to move on to some legs where we're going to do leg curls and calf raises. And here we come to day 3. We're targeting mainly our triceps all this day. We're going to start with an overhead tricep extension, then a tricep pushdown after we've done that, and we'll finish with dumbbell skull crushers. Here, our triceps will be knackered. We'll proper target them 3 sets of each, getting a lot of volume here. After that, we'll go to a dumbbell chest fly, as our triceps will be so tired. We can't really do a pushing movement, as that requires too much triceps. But a dumbbell chest fly, we can target our chest and isolate it without our triceps. And we'll finish with some lateral raises again. You can do the same variation, a different variation. It's really up to you with the lateral raises. Just 3 sets going close to failure, as close as you can. Then day 4, we're targeting our biceps and our back here. We're going to start with that face-away bicep curl again, really getting that stretch. Then going into an incline curl. And finally finishing with a preacher curl. Here, these are 3 exercises that I find work my biceps the best. But if you want to change any of them, like you don't like preacher curl, or you want to do hammer curls, anything you want to do, just change it. Just keep it the same muscle group. So you want to train biceps with these 3 exercises. And after we've done that, we're going to move on to a lat pull down. Just a straight bar lat pull down using straps again. As your biceps are going to be tired, so are your forearms. So just use straps for this one again. Really getting that deep stretch. And we're going to finish with wrist curls, targeting our forearms again, as forearms give you a really great look. If you can have massive forearms, it just looks super cool. And finally, day 5. Here we're targeting our shoulders and our legs. We're going to start with an overhead dumbbell press, targeting our front delts. We haven't done much front delt movement throughout the week, but that's because we're doing a lot of incline pressing, which is going to target our front delts as well. So we'll do 3 sets of just a dumbbell overhead press to start with. Then we're going on to lateral raises again. We want to target those lateral shoulders. We've got a lot of volume in them throughout the week, which is super necessary. And finally, we'll finish with a reverse fly for our rear delts. This is the back of our shoulder here, just making us have that full look with our whole shoulder. We don't need to do many sets with our rear delts either, as our back work targets these quite well. After we've done that, we're going to go on to Smith machine squat again, doing our quads and our glutes, trying to grow those a little bit, leg curl, getting our hamstrings, and finally with calves. This is the split for all 5 days, and once you've done that, you can keep repeating it week after week, and you can change the volume. So say you start with 2 sets, that's what I'd recommend. Start with 2 sets of every exercise for the first week. Then maybe next week, after you've got comfortable with it, go to 3 sets. And then maybe the week after, change some exercise. So maybe your biceps, maybe your triceps, you do 4 sets and everything else 3 sets. But you can keep evolving it and evolving it and developing with time as it goes on. But here you're able to grow the muscle groups that you want to grow, make them bigger, make them stronger, and get in amazing shape. And it's just easier than having to do a full body workout where everything gets big. Instead, you can target the aesthetic muscle groups, so ones that are actually going to make you look insanely good. But even though this training split is going to help you out get into amazing shape, it's not going to work at all unless your diet is on point. If you've got a good diet and a good training split, you're 3/4 of the way there of really getting into like movie star shape. And if you want to find out more about diet, there's a free lean bulking course in the description of this video that is going to help you out.